What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. We have a 2019 Toyota RAV4, and the customer complaint was the cooling fan runs constantly. So what I noticed when I got in the car and started up, the cooling fan was on even though the engine coolant temperature was cold, below operating temperature. And you can hear the fan ramp up on its pulse width modulation. So I'm like, oh, that's weird. I said, I don't know this vehicle that well, but it probably doesn't have a cooling fan relay anymore. It's all controlled by the ECM or some type of relay network. So I was like, that's weird. I said, looks like there's a module on the back of the cooling fan. So I said, all right, well, let's swap the cooling fan out and see if that corrects the problem. Other than that, it's got a software update or something that needs to be done, because the PCM is the only thing commanding the pulse width modulation based on coolant temp or opens in the cooling system temperature sensors. I'm like, there's no codes in the system. So I was like, all right, well, let's swap it. So we put in a aftermarket fan, and I started the car up, and the fan's not on. So that possibly means that the new fan doesn't work, or it does work. I would anticipate that it does work, but you never know these days. And that's a good sign, because before you just start the car up, the fan would start its pulse width modulation really, really slow and then whip up to max RPM. Not only that, it's been doing it for so long that the fan motor must be worn, because it was vibrating inside the car like a bad motor mount. And this is a 2019 Toyota RAV4, 90K on it, 70,000 miles. So I was just talking to some used car dealers. I said, I've been working on 17 to 22 vehicles recently, and they're more expensive and they're more problematic. I said, you are better buying older cars with less technology. This technology is just a financial gutter when they have problems. And even used engines today are ridiculous. I can't even tell you that. I can't express how horrible it is what they want for a used engine today. Some transmissions, peanuts. Engines, ridiculous. You used to be able to get a decent engine for a couple $100. Forget it, not anymore. So this was actually a labor-intense job. I'm not really sure why it called for so much labor. Let me show you what I did. I took the airbox out. The air intake snorkel to the airbox. Unbolted the upper rad support. I didn't even take all the plastics off. I just flexed this up enough to get the radiator back. The lower radiator hose off, and then I pulled it out this way and then back in that way. There's no bolts. It has these push-on clips for it. So I, for one, like to see the coolant fan actuate on its own, meaning the PCM turn it on and then turn it off. So I don't know if I'm going to have enough time in this video to do that, depending on how cool the combustion temperatures are on this vehicle. Some vehicles run cold and some vehicles run hot, and some take longer than others, and some heat up really fast. Pretty much it. So if you have a Toyota RAV4 and the fan's running constantly, and it's an older vehicle, it's usually something is commanding it, like an open in the cooling system or a relay. But when these are pulse width modulated, I didn't find any relays in this Toyota. Thanks for watching.